Welcome back to Outside Views, and bro, we need to talk. And today I want to talk about a political landscape that, in my view, has become tragically distorted. I'm focusing on Great Britain and the question that should be keeping every sensible politician awake at night. And the question is, who will stop Farage? And the reports are stark. Nigel Farage's anti-foreigner cause is leading the polls, and his party, Reform UK, is indeed growing. It's clear that Farage is aiming for power, and his playbook is not original. It's a cheap imitation of Donald Trump's MAGA movement. And in this critical moment, watching the political party's pathetic attempts to counter him, I am filled with a deep frustration here, looking on this from the outside. The question for Britain's political centre is how to respond. Do you pander, do you imitate, or do you counter with substance? The answer, based on the recent Liberal Democrat conference, is that they have chosen the worst path. They are feeding the beast. To understand the problem, you must first understand the political vacuum that Farage has so skillfully exploited. Brexit, and which I believe was a terrible mistake, has left Britain economically wounded and socially divided. But now the political centre is in complete disarray, caught between a chaotic Labour Party, a thoroughly fractured Conservative Party, and a Liberal Democrat Party that just had a real chance to offer a clear alternative. The Lib Dems, for all their faults, are the only party openly campaigning for a closer partnership with the EU, a policy that, in my opinion, is the only sensible long-term path for Britain, if they want to undo at least a little bit of the damage. They had a chance to profit from the collapse of trust in the other two major parties. They could have presented a bold action program for the United Kingdom. But as you can guess, they didn't. Instead of offering solutions, Lib Dem leader Ed Davey chose to center his entire message on Farage, stepping right into the populist trap. He spent his time attacking Farage's past statements, like his ridiculous comment about handguns, and repeating the mantra, "Don't let Trump's America become Farage's Great Britain." While I agree wholeheartedly with the sentiment, it's a politically bankrupt strategy. And Davies' calculation is clear here. He knows that in the attention economy, attacking Farage is what gets you headlines and airtime. Yeah, you can see it right now, but I couldn't skip that one. It's the curse of modern politics, where the noise of the right-wing populace drowns out any reasoned discussion. As the BBC reporter noted, Davey himself complained that the Lib Dems were getting too little press, while Farage's slogans were everywhere. But you cannot complain about the spotlight shining on the provocateur and then join him on the stage. By making Farage the main subject of their conference, the Liberal Democrats only cemented his dominance over the national discourse. And the cost of this political cowardice is immense. When people listened to Ed Davey's speech, they wanted to know how the Lib Dems would solve Britain's financial malaise. They wanted to know their plan for the economy, for social policy, and for migration. But the reports from political correspondents were all the same. The arguments were missing. They offered no real program for the country. Instead, we got sound bites about Farage. And meanwhile, Farage continues to dominate the discourse with his dangerous, even racist proposals, like his demand to strip social benefits from immigrants and force highly integrated workers, the nurse, the skilled worker, the professor, to reapply for visas every 5 years. This is not immigration policy. It's a cruel and calculated campaign to remove the backbone of the British economy and exploit the anger of over 100,000 demonstrators who recently took to the streets in London. This is the MAGA movement's extended arm in Britain, a movement that is built on division and the politics of subtraction. And what truly infuriates me is that the Liberal Democrats missed an opportunity not just for their party, but for the fundamental values of a free society. And as one correspondent from Politico asked, why aren't the Liberals championing free speech? The political right has hijacked the language of liberty to protect bigotry, while the center remains silent here. Free speech is in the DNA of the liberals, yet they conceded this vital ground to the very people who seek to limit the rights of voters. Across Europe, the political center is desperately searching for a way to deal with populism from both the left and the right. And the Lib Dems' answer was not a display of democratic strength, but a tactical retreat into the enemy's chosen battleground. They failed to offer a pragmatic and reasoned and inspiring vision of a Britain that can be both economically successful and socially liberal. They failed to show the public that there's an alternative to the chaos and the hatred that Farage peddles. By focusing on who they oppose instead of what they stand for, the Liberal Democrats squandered a massive chance for their party and for the country. Until a mainstream party is brave enough to offer a clear, positive vision for a global, cooperative and ethical Britain, a vision that stands in stark opposition to the disastrous isolationism of Brexit and the hatred of Farage, the question of who will stop Farage will remain tragically unanswered. So thanks for joining me today on Outside Views, and I'm looking forward to your comments. But as always, guys and girls, stay civil in the comments so that there's a discussion and not a bunch of insults there, because those I would take out. I don't care of your point of view. I leave the comments in, of course, from different point of views. But insults will be gone. And if you want to see another video right now, the next one is right here in the end screen. I'll see you there. I'll be back.